Hello, my gravy Timothy's, and welcome back to some Hearts of Iron 4 and the end of the Grand Mega Campaign 2024. Now, it seems like you guys have really enjoyed this year's campaign, and if you have, go ahead, support the channel down below, hit the like, even leave a comment saying, wow. Because unfortunately on YouTube, we do have to rely on the horrible systems that they've put in place for me to engagement bait you into the ground. But I do enjoy reading all of your comments, especially your critiques and what you liked about the mega campaign. So if you have any ideas, please do leave them down below so I can keep that into consideration for next year, and more importantly, for the Redux campaign that will be coming in January. But yes, it is the end of 2024, and it is only fitting that we end it with our great campaign that we've had a lot of fun in. Oh yeah, also I completely forgot, thank you to all the channel members that have actually joined over this campaign as well in all December. That does help the channel out a lot too, and I'm trying to give you guys a bit more content on the membership side, so you guys will be getting the Redux campaign a couple days earlier than everyone else, and then it will still be made public to everyone that's not a channel member. I understand that, a lot of people can't actually support the channel like that, but I'll never lock anything behind it like that other than the Q&A videos and stuff. But yeah, if you do want to become a channel member, it does help out a lot. And enough yapping from me, let's see what we're in store for today. And here it is, the world in 1935 where we left it. Dear Lord, it's a little messy. Now, in all fairness, a lot of the mess that does come from Asia over here was mostly down to me, but also the 26th War of Chinese reunification. Now, of course, we are playing King Alexander II of Britannia, our holy empire that is spread across the world. We have a couple of core integral parts of our empire. Obviously, we have Norway, the British Isles, and Egypt. We have our pretty much autonomous little African states down here too. They are all independent and doing their own thing. And then the real crown jewel of our empire is the British East Indies. We did at the end of our Victoria gameplay get the British Raj over here too, but it is definitely a new addition to the empire that we haven't really invested too much into. As for everybody else, we have the Revolutionary Republic over here, which is France, that did fall to the communists at the end of our game. We also have Spain down here that got dismantled and is also communist down here. The Germans, who are absolutely huge, I may add, are non-aligned. They were technically an authoritarian regime at the end, so they are run by Hugo von dem Niesbeck, which, if you don't know, is German for damn girl, get them knees back. The other major power we have over here is the Byzantine Empire, which was the Greek Federation at the end of that game, but because they turned back absolutists through the converter, they are the House of Philadelphia, I've noticed. Under King Adamantios, which, if you don't know, is from RuneScape. It's adamant armor, and I'd be willing to trim it for you, dear kind stranger, if you just hit the like button down below. But over in the Americas, we have Argentina. They are doing pretty well, and the only nation in the Americas to actually form their little union tag, because if you don't know, when a nation breaks free from their overlord, they can form a historical tag like Argentina has down here, but nobody else seemingly has done it. I'm assuming for a lot of nations because they didn't own all the historical land, but anyway, I think it's fine because the Ecuador Confederation sounds a lot cooler than Brazil. Now, up north in the Americas, we have Vermont, who are actually fighting Louisiana at the start here, as they did declare that war at the very end of Vic 2. So we're going to see a lot of Vermont expansion at the start here, I reckon, or Louisiana. I don't know who's going to win. We then have Nova Scotia and the Californian Republic up here, which is pretty damn huge. Now, I did have to merge a few of these smaller nations because it was a bit of a mess, and if you don't know, when things get converted into HOI4, a lot of them don't get expansion focus trees, which means these small nations will literally just sit there forever. It's okay in some regards because bigger nations next to them will get war goals on them, but because of the way the AI works, they don't do a lot of those war goals until really late in the game. So to save us just, nothing happening, I've already consolidated a whole bunch of smaller states into bigger ones. If you want some examples of that, there was a tiny little colonial state over here, and the Canadians who actually released over here that had nothing to do. So I just merged them into California, which does have a lot of war goals to expand. Oh yeah, I also noticed down here in French Mexico, Well, there he is. Oh no, sorry, my bad. That's Kawakama Skibidi. I have tried to keep a few of the small nations around this time around, though. I only tried to fix up the big quagmires like in Asia, which was an absolute mess. But yeah, I've kept a few around just for the meme of it. Like, we got Lusadia over here, which is essentially just Poland, and they've just been sitting in Germany this whole time, so I kind of felt bad finally getting rid of them, but there they are, still chilling. Hey, I even kept around Australia, which only exists on these two little islands right here. But yes, enough yapping. It's definitely time for us to get into this and end off this campaign and 2024 in all. Okay, so one of the things I actually messed with in the converter, because you can actually say how many factories you want people to have and how it should factor into it. I might go into a video all on like the conversion settings and stuff on the second channel, on the slop channel at some point, but I did try and set the amount of factories everyone has to a balanced status, because obviously not a lot of people do industrialize like Japan. They get a pretty late industrialization, same with Vermont. So that way we won't just have the thing that we kind of always do with campaigns where I just have tons of factories and then everyone else has none. This time around I only have a few factories to start off, but obviously we're going to be getting more. And the same will be for the Germans as well, who were actually in the lead in industrialization, but for some reason they've actually got less factories than me. Not too sure why that matters, but it's not really too noticeable. In fact, I think we've both actually got less than Sweden, but Sweden has been punching above their weight a lot of this game, so it's going to be interesting to see what they get up to. So like I said, we do get a focus tree, and it is kind of just RNG what the converter decides to give us. As you can see right now, we've got a couple of conquer little casus belli in here, war with Sweden. I mean, we were just talking about them, huh? And yeah, nothing crazy, and every other nation should get these for the most part. The Germans have a lot. They've got one on the Byzantines, Czechia, the Revolutionary Republic, on France, Slovakia, and Transoxiana, so have to see what they do with that. Okay, like I said, Vermont does start off fighting Louisiana, and I think from the division count, yep, we're probably going to see Vermont come out on top here. Okay, now we do have a absolutely huge navy at the start of our game here. I always built a pretty large navy in Victoria, and that does translate depending on your tech, so we have a very powerful navy. The only thing I am missing is a whole bunch of destroyers, which I guess is what we're going to build this whole game. Now we're going to start off our game by leading a bit of a conquest against Sudan, which is currently a puppeted state of Arabia, which is in turn guaranteed by the Mughals. It's going to be a bit of a convoluted one to start off, but we really need to clean up and get all of our colonies connected. The Mughals, after the Chinese revolt, have been left pretty much a rump state. They've only got 1 to 5 units currently, and I do think we need to go ahead and take our piece of them before it's too late. There we go. Into the desert we march, and we shall see. No, the Mughals actually didn't pick up that coat d'arms there, which I guess sounds fine with me. Don't have to worry about that anymore. It would have been nice to potentially get a little bit more land off them, but it's not like I really have too much of an interest other than just, you know, getting some because everyone else is going to get bored. Okay, now for the peace, I only really have an interest in Sudan, and I guess their little colonies they have down here too. I guess we could kick them out to their Mediterranean Sea axis as well, and then just leave them as a little state right there. You know, I'll also take Bahrain just as a little province, port, and airport if they ever act up in the future. There we go. I also went ahead and added them as a demilitarized zone, which apparently makes them a puppet of me, which I did not know because I never do this, so I guess we have an Arabian puppet just in case. Oh, and just as Vermont has finished theirs, the 28th billionth Chinese War of Reunification is ongoing between Liang and Xia right now. And I think Xia is looking pretty strong. Yeah, they're pretty even, so I'm not too sure who's going to come out on top here. I just realized the guy in French Indonesia, pretty damn styling. Well, Shia won, and they're looking pretty damn grand right now. That's actually inspired me to do a little bit of something myself over here in India. You see, King Alexander II has got himself a little bit of a taste for imperialism. We have moved completely back to an absolute monarchy, and there is a lot of land that hasn't had that good old touch of imperialist touched upon it yet. So we might as well strengthen our puppet over here and give him a bit of standing. amazing. There we go, our Indian colonial state has been expanded. I don't think we'll go any further unless another Chinese war of reunification happens with the Mughals, just because I don't want that going on forever, so we'll give them a helping hand and invade over here too. Now, whilst I've been expanding the empire, I have noticed the Greeks have turned back to democracy, which is definitely pretty interesting because their neighbor, oh, they have not turned to democracy at all. Yeah, it seems the Germans are going down a very different route. Very surprising considering how huge they are. Do you really need any more territory? I want to go ahead and say no, you don't. Oh, and speak of the devil, Shia is going into the Mughals, which means I'm going to give them a helping hand. Okay, that was over so quick, didn't really even get a chance to react there. The Mughals, I literally walked into like 2 provinces and they capitulated. The Chinese are still fighting Transoxiana over there, who I am also fighting because they were in a guarantee, quote-unquote, alliance. Yeah, not too sure if I'm going to be able to get over there and do anything. I could get access through Shia, which I already have, and go help them, but you know, I think I'm good, you know. Oh, a lot of stuff's actually happening right now. The Germans just went in on them and they've just created a faction called the Brotherhood of Europe. Sounds menacing, and they've got a lot of friends in that faction too, and they're both ganking Hungary. I didn't realize the Mughals were also guaranteed by Champa over here, so I'm gonna go deal with that too. Oh, there goes Transoxiana, and Shia has decided to really want to put that name right in the corner there, huh? Alright, big things are happening currently though. We got 2 factions that have just formed that are now currently fighting somebody, which means we are about to get a little bit fiery in Europe. And we've got the Spanish bloc, which is Colombia, Iceland, and Spain, and they are currently fighting everyone. Yep, that's really not looking too good, but it is keeping the French from currently fighting the Germans, because they could have joined this faction if they weren't fighting them, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I didn't notice the Greeks declared on Ceylon. I'm assuming to try and get themselves a bit of an empire pie slice over here, but I don't think we're gonna let that one go. Plus, you know, I also got a war goal on them through my focus tree, so snooze you lose. Now, we kind of knew, or I knew, and you could probably guess, that eventually we were probably going to have to fight the Germans. But I think we're definitely going to have to speed up our fighting up the Germans, as they have officially now teamed up the French. You know, they ain't pushing just yet, but this alliance is going to be a bit of a tricky one for me to stand on the sides and let happen. Now, the Greeks have also joined in on the Spanish bloc, but they have not joined in against the war against the damn Germans yet, and I'm not too sure if they will do if they haven't done yet. So I'm going to have to speed things up a little bit here and get myself ready to land on the continent. Yeah, this Brotherhood of Europe has definitely turned into one heck of a unholy alliance. Alright, now we do have a non-aggression pact with the Germans, which I went ahead and got at the start of the game, so we can't break that soon enough, and when we can, I'm going to just define them, and I guess we're going in. Now, it ain't going to be an easy job. The Germans have between 300 and 1,000 divisions. I don't think the localization could handle my names by the looks of things. Not Herald Yiffing. Yeah, definitely some interesting things going on in here, but you know what? We'll get yiffing. Oh, wow. Okay, the Greeks finally went in. Okay, I don't think they're going to be able to hold that front by the looks of things. How many troops are they? Oh, never mind. The Greeks got quite a lot of troops themselves, but the Germans have just got more. Either way, now that the Greeks win, we can't let them have all the damn fun, can we? Plus, you know, I got to go get back a whole bunch of my family heirlooms I imagine the communists are currently sitting on. Oh, yeah, the Greeks are getting absolutely torn apart. The Germans are surprisingly just way too strong. I mean, as long as you don't expect them to push into the Spanish land over here, in case they get too strong. Yeah, I could have gone ahead and joined the Spanish faction, but you know, I think it's more fitting that I throw in my own little thing here. Okay, the French are definitely looking insanely weak on these garrisons, so I don't imagine we're going to have too much resistance here, but a lot of their troops could just be hogging up on all these front lines right right now, so they could come running. And I only just realized it doesn't matter. The Germans haven't even joined to help the French. I'm not too sure if they're gonna, but if we run these guys down in time... Oh, actually, wait, Romania is in, so I don't think it'll... yeah, Romania is a major power, so either way, we're gonna have to fight the Germans, but I'll wait until I cap France here. The French, once again, getting some absolutely abysmal betrayal from their so-called allies. And there they go. The empire that I put together in the first damn place has once again come home. Okay, we were pushing on into France, had to stop that though because the Germans have finally gone ahead and joined the war. Alright, now things ain't looking too great in the Greek Federation, but I'm hoping my entrance now is definitely going to take some of the heat off them, because if they capitulate, that's not going to be too good. Oh god, okay, I called all my puppets and stuff into my colonies, and I've just noticed the African front is very stacked. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm glad I kept you guys around just for you to join the damn Germans. Oh, I've been planning our main assault, getting my SPGs out, and we are now going to see if we can't help the Greeks. Well, saying that, they have actually did a little bit of a pushback and stabilized their front, which means this should be easy. Oh yeah, my SPGs are absolutely ripping through them. They're not very fast, but I just wanted them to break through the lines, which it doesn't even look like I needed too much. My infantry seems to have no problem with it at all. I mean, if I did make them a little faster, we could get one heck of a nasty encirclement in Luxembourg there, but yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get it, potentially. No, we can't get that. Oh, never mind. Okay, we got a few of them there. I'm just going to keep pushing south now, see if we can't get a couple more. I mean, usually looking at a map like this, you'd be like, damn, that's great, almost done with Germany. Nope. So what's their capitulation progress? Oh, oh yeah, but also at the same time, 22 million casualties? Jesus! Okay, I pause the eastern offensive for now. I'm going to try and clean up this Italian front by pushing through the Alps. Oh, and I've actually done it. I brought my SPGs up from the north and caught them by surprise and got myself one hell of an encirclement. Okay, that should be the Italian front for the most part pretty cleaned up. Oh, the way I found out Manchuria had entered the war is when I just sunk their navy in the English Channel. Alright, I have no idea how far we are going to have to push here. The Germans are still not even halfway capitulated. We're probably going to have to go all the way to the end. And whilst their army is looking pretty beaten on the front line, according to intel, they have a minimum of 390 troops still. I'm imagining holding off the Greeks. Holy moly, look how many troops got caught down here. That, okay, that's insane. Yeah, maybe those German troop numbers are a little bit inflated just from that, because that's about to go down pretty quickly. I'm still having pretty much no trouble over on this eastern front. There's not a lot of German troops. Then I'll just look around and just see giant amounts of German troops trapped like what they doing in Tunisia. Also, yes, the only other person that is not my puppet that is in my faction is Algeria, my bro to the end of time. I mean, it's the first time we've ever met, but you know, I'm sure we're good friends. Holy moly, whatever the Greeks were doing over there to the Germans, 12 million casualties alone just from them. That is insane. I mean, in all fairness, so they have lost 9 million altogether, 7 million from the Germans, so it's not like it didn't go unnoticed on their side too. Oh, and China has officially unified in a way. They're all in the same faction now, and whilst they haven't united on the map, it's definitely cool that they've managed to do that, even though they do have Sweden also in their faction randomly. Okay, it's definitely the end of the line for the Germans. 96% towards capitulation now, won't be much longer. Oh my god, and there goes WW2. Now, I don't even know where to begin here. Both the Greeks and the Americans both have a lot of points in this too, so I'm gonna have to pick and choose, I reckon. Okay, it is definitely not what I would call perfect. We have quite a few things happening after this peace deal. First off, we've put the exiled royal family of France back in control. Our dynasty once again looking very strong. We also found this guy claiming to be some sort of Kaiser or something or other, and we said, you know what, sure, George von Fritsch, you can lead Germany. But not Germany, you can lead Green Germany, not to be confused with Germany or Blue Germany. It's definitely very confusing, but we do now have a giant democratic Germany that controls all of Russia, a Polish Germany, which controls Poland, and a Germany, which controls Germany. And the only line I wasn't really too sure what to deal with was the Benelux itself, so currently I am just holding on to that. Oh wait, no, I know the perfect thing to do with this territory. Here you go, Frisia, welcome back! Oh, I forgot they are communist. But I don't know after how damn long you have been exiled out on your random islands everywhere, but you're back. You can go home. There you go. Something to make all the Dutch people in the world scream. You once again do control Belgium, but you only control Belgium. Well, fellas, I think that is where we are leaving it off for our kingdom at this point. We could go on. We could take down the Greeks or Vermont, but I'm going to be real, it would not be too difficult. And I actually kind of like the way our empire has ended up looking. It's definitely not perfect, but having the dynasties reunited all together finally has definitely been one hell of a goal. And, you know, of course, we also just whacked some random guy in charge of Germany, but he's definitely supposed to be there. But I am definitely very happy to leave this campaign off where we've torn the world completely apart in so many different ways throughout this campaign that it has been very fun. I mean, to be fair, I mean, the Greeks are currently fighting the Shia right now, but they are going to be taking a very long time considering they are going through Central Asia to do it. But that, unfortunately, we are not going to wait around for. It is about to be 1947. I've ended it just as a year will tick over, and I guess this is the final standings for how the world will look. I mean, it's definitely still pretty messy in a lot of places, but we did clean it up a whole bunch this game. We even put together the British Raj, which again, I never intended for that to ever be a thing. But you know what they say, when in Raj. It is super interesting to see how the Americas have come together. Vermont is a absolute powerhouse, which isn't that surprising if you look at all the damn land they have. In fact, I think they actually got way more factories than even I do, which is, yeah, again, very impressive for the AI to put together. But I hope you enjoyed the Mega Campaign 2024 under this very, very handsome fella. He doesn't really look that handsome right there. He kind of looks like he's, who's getting the best suck, if you know the meme. But I definitely enjoyed it. It was a very different game for me. We've obviously played Britain before, but we haven't. We went ahead and did one game on it in CK, and then in EU4 we went and played America. So playing all the way through Britain has been very fun. I do think I know who I want to play in the Redux campaign as well, and I'm not sure if I'm going to start in CK3 or in EU4, but you know, time will tell. If you want to go ahead and see that, make sure you hit the sub button down below, because that will be coming in January. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and make sure if you want to go ahead and support the mod developers, I will leave everything linked down below in the description so you can go ahead, do your own campaign and have some fun. Because of course this series and every series we do every year on a Mega Campaign relies on those mods to work, which, yeah, again, this is not possible without the mod developers. So make sure you go ahead, you go down in those links, give them a star up on the workshops or on the forums, whatever you can, just to help them out and make sure that they get the praise they deserve. And that's it, really. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you all have a very good start of the year in 2025, and I can't wait to see what we get up to. All the brand new DLC coming out for this game. I imagine there's gonna be a lot to do. But yeah, thank you for watching this year. I appreciate it a lot, my Timmies. And if you liked the video, again, subscribe, like down below, become a channel member. But until next time, goodbye.